Hi, welcome back. I'm certainly glad you could join me today because today is a very special day. Recently, I had the opportunity to travel to New York City and work with Channel 13 there, WNET, and they have what they call Kids Day in the Park. And we were invited to come there and participate and meet all the fantastic people from New York. So I thought today we'd do a show dedicated to all my friends in New York City. So I'll tell you what, let's start out, have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with me. And while they're doing that, let me show you what I've done. I have a design cut out of contact paper and stuck on the canvas today. And then I've covered this area with just liquid white, and it's all wet and slick and it's ready to go. So let's go. Start out today, old 2-inch brush, a small amount of phthalo blue, just a small amount on the 2-inch brush, and just tap it in. Okay, let's go right up here. Now we'll just use old standard crisscross strokes, just like so. And we just put in a happy little sky. Just a happy little sky. And by using the crisscross strokes, starting at the top and working downward, the color will continually blend with the liquid white. And as we work down, it'll get lighter and lighter in value. And that's exactly what we're looking for. In a landscape, we want it to get lighter and lighter toward the horizon. There. And we don't need a lot of sky in this. I'm going to put all kinds of big trees and buildings. There. The demonstration that we did was in Central Park, and it's so pretty there. It's beautiful. You can look over and see the city, and son of a gun, what a city. What a city. Now then, without cleaning the brush, I'm going to go back into a small amount of the phthalo blue and reach up here and get a little touch, let me say that again, a little touch of phthalo green. Takes very, very little. Very strong color. Little phthalo green, phthalo blue. Just mix them on the brush. And let's have a little water. I'm going to do a scene from Central Park looking toward the city. There we go. So we need a little water here. Shoot, we'll get crazy today. Just have a good time. And there. Okay. And that's about all we need. I'm going to leave a little area light here in the center, so that'll look like a sheen of light coming across the water when we're all done. Okay, let me wash the old brush. And as you know, we wash the brushes with odorless thinner. Be sure it's odorless or you'll be working alone. Shake it off. Cover everybody in the studio, and we're in business. Now very lightly here. Just want to blend this together. And we have a little sky and a little bit of water. And we're not worried about anything at this time, because anything that we don't like, we'll just cover it up. Okay, let's mix up some colors. I'm going to start with titanium white. Oh, make a couple of piles. We'll just mix a lot of color here. Take a little midnight black and add to this. Maybe a little bit more. We're looking for a gray color. Nice gray color, something about like so, maybe a little touch darker. Now then, I'm going to divide this into 2 different piles. Take part of it, we'll put over here, about half. Then I'll reach up here, get a little white, and I'm going to lighten this one. Just lighten it up, there. So it's several values lighter than this one. Same color, just lighter. Let me clean the knife off here. Okay, light gray and a darker gray. Now in the other one, I'm going to take dark sienna and mix with it. And a little touch of black. So we have dark sienna, a little bit of black and white. Same thing again though. I want a light and a dark value. So we'll take a little more sienna and black and put in this one. Once again, though, it's the same color, only different values. Now then, now we can have some fun. Let's start out. I'm going to start with this light color of gray. And let's go right up here. We have to immediately make a big decision. Come right up here. Now, you have to decide where our building is going to live. Now, if it's going to live right along in here, touch and begin laying in some basic shapes. That's all we're going to do, is just lay in some basic shapes. We're not worried about a lot of detail at this point. There we go. We'll do a big old skyscraper here. Now this skyscraper may not look exactly like the skyscrapers in New York, but it'll give you an idea of how you can do some. In the time frame that I have here, it's very difficult to do an exact duplicate, but we'll do the best we can. Okay, now then, maybe let's come right up in here and just pull. Angles are very important when you're doing buildings. Very, very important. If you don't have those angles right, it shows like a sore thumb. There. Just pull it right across. Those angles are so, so important. Okay. Now then, I want a shadow right there, so I'll use the darker gray color that I have. And maybe the little shadow lives right along this edge. There. Like so. And we can come right on along here and put the other side of this thing on, just like that. We're not worried about the bottom. We're going to have some other things on the bottom. We just cover up whatever we don't want, so don't worry much about the bottom. Now this side of the building is in shadow, so it's much darker. There we go. But notice the angles. Those angles are what create the illusion of a building here. All right. That gives us a little basic shape. Now I'm going to go into the brown color that I had. And let's go right over in here, and maybe there's another building. Come right up here. See, there it is. We start out with just a little line, then another one. Just bring it right across. That's all there is to it. See? And every time you want to change it a little bit, there. Okay, I'm going to change to the smaller knife and get on the shadow side. Pull it like so. See there how easy that is? And this will give us just some very basic little shapes. Maybe right along here. Just a little touch that goes right through like that. And just give it a little pull. And if I remember, there was another little building right here. I'm just trying to do this basically from memory, so if I don't have them just right, don't yell at me. This is just an interpretation. There we go. Now then, there was another little building right here in front. So let's take, this is still just the brown and white I'm going to use. Get that little roll of paint on the knife, pull it out very flat, cut it off. Let's go right up in here, right here. See, just give it a pull. Cross, like so. There. Okay, and it comes right on up. Let's say to about there, wherever you want it. Wherever you want it. Now I'll take the lighter color and do the other side. There. Okay, and then we need, let's put a little top up here. This one's in front of that other one. So we need a little top. Same color over here. There we go. But angles are very important when you're doing these buildings. Very, very important. Now then, I'm just going to take the knife. I'm just going to make the indication of a few little windows here and there. I don't have time here to paint each one of them in, so I'm just going to use the tip of the knife and just scrape in some little indications. Now when you're doing yours, maybe you'd like to come back and put a light on some of these windows here and there. There we go. See there? Just pop them right out. There. Okay, a little bit over in here. As I say, our day in Central Park was one of the most fantastic days of my life. In fact, maybe we could share a little bit of that with you. We took a video camera with us and we took a few pictures while we were there. And this was our day in Central Park. Annette and I and Joni, her daughter, who who's the publisher of our newsletter, went with us, and shoot, we had a fantastic time there. We met some of the most beautiful people in the world. People brought paintings to show us, young to old. There's Annette and her daughter, Joan. There. And we did a couple of paintings when we got to talk with people, and it was one of the most fantastic days of my life. And if we get back there, I hope you come and see us and spend a day with us. I'm still just putting in windows while you're watching that. There we go. Look at there, there's Dana. He's one of our instructors on the national staff. He went with us and painted. This Dana Jester, he's quite a character too. There. Okay, I'm just putting in a few little window indications. Something like so. Now then, that gives you a very basic idea of how to do some little buildings. And you can put a lot more detail in them when you do them at home. Okay, now then, tell you what, let me clean off my palette and get a place to work here. Let's have some fun. We'll take some black, a little Prussian blue, a little bit of that phthalo green in there. What the heck? A little crimson. You can throw some Van Dyke. It doesn't matter, as long as it's good and dark. Okay, let me clean my knife off here. We'll use the old round brush today. Let's go right in here, tap in a little bit of color. And let's just make a big decision. Maybe right along in here lives a happy little tree. We don't know, somewhere along in here. Okay, all we're doing right now is just throwing in some dark color. Shoot, I should scrape in a few little windows in this building too. Almost forgot him. Don't want him left out. People in here couldn't see. There. Okay, now then, come right along here. If this is going to be water, tell you what, let's grab the base of this, pull it straight down, and create the illusion of a reflection there. That easy. There we are. Very lightly go across, and we have instant reflections. And let me see here. I've got a couple of old round brushes going. So let's tap this one into a little bit of yellow. Be right back. I'm going to reach up here, get a little sap green. There. Nice green color. And just tap this. Just want to load a little paint in it. A little yellow ochre, a little Indian yellow here and there. Okay, let's go up here. Now maybe there's some nice highlights right out here on these. All kinds of little things happening. Wherever you want them. Wherever you want them. Okay, like so. Like so. There. Now this particular little contact paper cutout that I have today is designed for all my friends in New York. But if you don't live in New York and you would like to do this, shoot, you can take and cut all types of designs out of contact paper and just make beautiful things. I live in Florida most of the time now, and you can take and cut a map of Florida out of contact paper and put it on there and paint a nice Florida scene. And when you peel it off, whew, it's beautiful, beautiful. And I know we're not interested in selling paintings, but if you should be, those kind of things sell like crazy. I'll use a little brown right here, a little Van Dyke brown. Just put a little dirt under there. I don't want much. This is too far away. Scratch in a few little sticks and twigs and just happy things going on. Okay, we can take a fan brush, a little bit of that same color, yellow ochre, green, Indian yellow, bright red, and touch, just a touch. Okay, now we can go up here, give it a little upward push, put some little grassy things growing right down here like that. There. And then a little touch of the liquid white, a little dark sienna in it, just to dull it down. And we cut across, okay? Now we can go up here, put the indication of a happy little water line. There it is. All right. Now then, I'd like to put a little bridge right here. And you're looking out over the bridge and you can see we back in there. So let's just use a little bit of black and Van Dyke brown, a little dark sienna. We'll just mix them together. We don't care. This is your bravery test in this particular painting. Take a small roll of paint right out on the edge of the knife there. Okay, maybe our bridge lives. Here it goes. right there. Right there. Just be brave. Drop it in. Drop it in. Okay? And this is, if I remember, this bridge had a nice curve in it. Like that. Just like that. Look at there. Okay, and this side. There. Now then. That gives us a basic shape for our bridge. The other thing that's so neat here, maybe it was reflected right into the water. So we just take and pull a little bit of that paint. We're just looking for a very basic little shape under here. Just really push that in. Now normally, when we're doing reflections, we pull straight down. This time, let's just very gently go back and forth. Just want to distort it a little bit. And then go across. And when we're all done, that'll give us an indication of a nice reflection of that little bridge into the water. Now then, we have to make some big decisions here. Part of this, you're going to see a little bit of the base underneath part. So the least little touch of light color here, just the least little touch. Don't want to overdo. A little light shines through there. Now then, bring this right around. And we can make out just the indication. Maybe there's all kind of little stones that made this up. But I want it to stay quite dark. So I'm just touching. Just touch. Let the paint pull off what it wants. There we go. See? Just touch. It'll take off what it wants. Gives you back what's left. As I mentioned in the other series, it's just like the tax man. Boy, he takes off what he wants, gives you back what's left. Only trouble, there's never much left. There. Maybe there's a little rail right up here. We take a little bit lighter brown and just drop that on. Just to give an indication of a little rail, little lip that lives right in there. Isn't that easy? We have the indication of an old bridge there. And the particular place where I was at, there were some nice trees, and they lived right here, some bushes. Shoot, they came, oops, don't want to cover up the whole building there. They came right along here. Big tree lived here. And he watched the park and everything that was going on. There. Beautiful big tree. And all we're doing here is just dropping in a very basic shape. There. Okay. And with this old round brush, you just tap it in. Don't worry about it. Just tap it. Wherever you want it. Reflect a little bit of it down into the water. Now then, let's go over to the other side. Over here, some big bushes and trees over here too. Shoot, maybe they come all the way out right over the front of the building a little bit. There. Just sort of look around and make some big decisions and decide where you want all these things and drop them in. There, maybe we on up here. Big, beautiful tree. You know, you're so shocked when you go to New York and see all the skyscrapers and everything, and then you find some place like Central Park, and it's almost like you were back with nature again. We really enjoyed our day there. Really enjoyed it, and I've never met so many fantastic people in my life. The park police told us that nearly 250,000 people came that day. Okay, now then. I want some reflections, so just make that decision and pull it down. Just pull it down and go gently across in instant reflections. There. Okay. Over here, maybe a little reflection. Pull it across. Just straight down and across. Now then, I'm going to use the old liner brush with a little paint thinner on it. And we'll find us some Van Dyke brown, a little bit of white, paint thinner. Thin this down very thin, almost like ink. very thin. Turn the brush, get a lot of paint on it. And maybe there's a tree trunk. Lives right there. Right there, wherever you want it. There he is. And he's got some big arms that come out here. Now, if you have trouble making your paint flow, all you need to do is add a little bit more of the paint thinner. Because the thin paint will flow right over this thick paint. Very easy. Very, very easy. Okay, I'm going to take a little touch of the liquid white, go right into, I'm going to thin this paint a little. That's all the liquid white does is thin this. Right into the yellows, be right back, get a little more of the sap green. There. All right, beautiful, little yellow ochre. Just mix them all together. Let's go right up here. Now the light's playing right through here. Think about shape and form when you're doing these trees. There. There's another one. See, there's clumps or big bunches in there. There's a limb right there that holds up that whole big one section. Think about it. Make friends with it. There we are. But there's all those little individual things in there. Make friends with each one. And then your tree will just jump alive. It has character. It's not just a dead old flat thing out there. It has roundness both this way and this way. And that's what makes your tree interesting. Go into a little Indian yellow, a little tiny touch of the bright red. Ooh, nice one, nice one, nice one. That one stands out very pretty against that bridge. There we are. See there? Just layer after layer. Maybe there's a nice bush that lives here. Wherever you want him. Wherever you want him. It's up to you. Here's another little one. There. Now then, we need some land. So I take a little Van Dyke brown. Let's go right up here. Need a little bit of land for that to hang on to. Okay. Little touch of dark sienna and white. Make us a little highlight on top. There we are. Now, we'll take a 2-inch brush and just tap a little color into it. And with that, we can put in just a soft little area here. A lot of beautiful grassy areas in Central Park. A lot of people come out and enjoy nature and spend some time. Shoot, there's little squirrels and stuff everywhere there too. A little bit of water line, just liquid white. Okay, now then, on the other side, I want the other side over here to be more in shadow if the light's coming from that way. So we're going to darken that color a great deal. Very dark green, but still on the round brush, but very dark. I just want the indication of a little highlight on these ones out here. Not very much though, don't overdo. Keep this one very dark. Very dark. So there's a contrast, so you know the light's coming zing through there. Gotta make those little noises. You don't have to be crazy to be a painter, but it certainly helps. There. And even if you can't see those very well, they are in there. There are little things in there. Okay, we'll take a little of the brown, liquid white mixture. Not much, and just put in the indication of a little water line right there. Now I'm going to get a 1-inch brush, just plain old 1-inch brush. We'll take a little black, Prussian blue, phthalo green, brown, it doesn't matter, dark colors. There was a little walkway here where I was standing, so let's put in, there's some beautiful little grassy things that live right out here. There they are. Like so. We just drop those in. I'll take some Van Dyke brown, a little dark sienna, put in some dirt. There we go. Little white and dark sienna, and just barely touch. Just highlight that, just enough to let it graze it. Okay, another 1-inch brush. I have several of them going. We'll take a little yellow and green, just mix it together. put a little highlight on these. Right out here. See? Look how that shows up. It's just beautiful little bushes right out here. And they grow right back in here. This was a little walk, as I say, and there was like a little rail. Let's do that. I think I have enough time to do that. Just come across. Like so. A little black. Put that down. Got to make those little noises. A little bit of highlight colors, just brown and white. And come across so it looks like there's a little rail right there, or a little ledge. There we go. Isn't that nice? Okay, take some paint thinner on the liner brush, go into a little bit of the green. Just put the indication here and there of a few little things that are sticking out. Just having a good time. Shoot, I think we're about ready. Now then, Annette cut this beautiful design out for me, so let's pull it off and let's see what happens here. There we are. Isn't that fantastic? And you can do this too. So I'll take a little paint thinner, go right into my red, and we'll sign this, but I'm going to call it finished. We'll sign it right out here in the bushes. But once again, I hope all my friends in New York enjoy this, and that for people who live other places, try cutting out all kinds of designs, and you will not believe what you can make. I really hope you've enjoyed this. From all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting, and God bless, my friend.